Hello, this is Kev. This is Black Me being brutally honest. And just wanted to come to you for a little bit about the April Mason situation and basically what I have to say about her comments. Um, she made a video just having a reaction to her apparently an attempted abduction of her cousin. Saying that I think it's 2 men or 3 men. I wish I could go back and watch the video again, but both videos have been. She made 2 videos about this, and both of them were taken down. But basically said that these men followed her inside of a gas station and attempted to abduct her, and then these men followed her to a restaurant. And basically what she was saying led into. She basically called out good black men for not protecting black women. Good black men. These are her words. Not providing protection of black women so things like this wouldn't happen. Now, for what I hear for April Mason's rhetoric, making this video was an extreme departure from what she usually says. Basically, if my understanding is her rhetoric tries to mend defenses between black men and black women by basically talking to black women about how to have better relationships toward black men, like a dating coach. So, but this, from what I understand, is a departure from what she says. That basically that black men aren't protecting black women, that black women have to protect themselves these days. I don't disagree with that. One point right there. Not the black men aren't protecting black women, but black women have to protect themselves. And black women have been protecting themselves. That's something different. But what I was saying was, yes, I do agree that, young ladies should start to consider carrying. And, even if that, there are other things that you can do. You can have mace, pepper spray, you can buy yourself a taser. I do agree. But you're asking random black men to protect random black women. And that's not happening for a few reasons. I'm not saying it doesn't happen with me or it's not going to happen with me, but you have to understand a few things. Why this mentality is the way that it is. Okay, first off, you have a mass campaign of disrespect against black men. Now, I know that I've talked about and expressed my disdain for the anti-black man sentiment, but you might think that I'm joking. You might thinking that I'm victimizing black men, but that shit is real. I mean, you got women black women in particular, openly campaigning against black men any way they can find. But with that also comes a sense of entitlement. These same brothers that you spend disrespecting and castigating for simply their opinion, these are the same brothers that you want protection from. I don't get it. It's like, how are you expecting or feel like you're entitled to protection from a group of men? And this is not, when I say you, I'm not talking about April Mason in particularly. I'm talking about the people, the women, let's just say it, the women who co-sign with this narrative, this rhetoric. I mean, if you're going around saying that black men are dusty, black men are defeated, black men have lost as a group. And I mean, you got brothers co-signing to this crap too. You're campaigning, it's working, you're influencing people. But then you are shocked and surprised when you can't get protection from a black man. You've already framed the conversation like we can't do that anyway. Why would a random black man put his life in danger for a woman that doesn't respect him? Now is whether it's right or it's wrong to feel that way, that's how it is. Because you have this campaign of women disrespecting men. Okay, let's just say it. Black men, well, okay, my bad. Black women disrespecting black men. Because you have that, some of these brothers won't even lift a finger. How do you expect protection and provision from a group of men that you will not submit to or respect? And you got these women out here co-signing to that shit time and time again against black men because some guy somewhere said something about hair weave. You got these social media influencers with large followings. They're sitting up here yapping about, oh, they have to earn my respect. They're not entitled to my respect. But you feel like you're entitled to protection and provision by simply doing nothing but being a black woman. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to do something. I mean, like, women, like, and I'm not saying that you have to do this, but it is what it is because women in the past have used sex to get ahead. Seriously. It's like it's a suggestion, you could use sex to get the protection. You know, they use sex for money, they use sex for dick police, and they use sex for all this other stuff. I'm not saying just go out and just fuck a random dude because you think he can protect you, because that's how you get in a lot of these nightmare scenarios in the first place. Yeah, that's my next point. We can't tell you enough to stay away from toxic guys. You know, the guys you choose, your boyfriends. It's like my fellow habitual line stepper brother, Roger Stevens, says, these black women that complain about this stuff, they want protection from the guys they are sleeping with. And you know what? It's like a magic trick. How do you pull it off? You know, smoke and mirrors. Why would I sit up there and protect you from a guy you're fucking? Because, you know, you call it all kinds of things. You call it hating. Yeah, he hating on him. It's like, that dude ain't no good. Like, think about how that sounds. Me walking up to you saying that you should stay away from your boyfriend. You come, like, say you come to the workplace with a bruise. Now they try to say something like it's battered woman syndrome. But it's like, I've been that guy that will try to tell a woman, hey, you know what? You might need to chill on him. Like, for real, he hurt you. He hurt you. And what do they always end up going to do? And I mean, for real, it's like 100% of the time, they always end up going back to the dude. You can't protect anybody like that. But and that's what they say about abusive relationships and being with toxic men. I can't fly in on a cape. It's like when you're with him, because I don't know where you guys are. I don't have a tracker on you. They want you. What you ladies want, you want black men to appear out of nowhere like superheroes when something happened to you. I mean, it's like, it seems to me like you women are the ones that have to decide that you want this protection. I hear these men talk all the time. These women don't want our protection. They don't. They only want the protection when it's convenient, when something already happens. They want us to address these men. They want us to address these men about, you know, about what they're doing with their dicks, what they're doing with their penises to them. It's like you're going to have to learn how to say no to that guy. You're going to have to learn how to get help. There are so many programs and seek help places that are in place. But what you want a black man to break into your home and play hero. I'll save you over someone you choose to be around. If you're not seeking protection, how can you get it? April also said something like very funny, like it's like you got to start following these females to make sure they get to their car safely. Like in a lot of parts, they call that stalking. You just had a case in Chicago where a man followed a woman to her car and murdered her. I mean, they tried to say that was catcalling. I mean, that's another discussion, whatever. But the point is this. You start calling these guys creepy when they do that. Can I walk you to your car? Oh, you're creepy. I mean, I'm sure if you asked nicely, if it were a person you knew, for real. I mean, guys you know, great, awesome. But you're asking it like random guys that you don't know. You know what good black men are doing right now? They are protecting their women, the women in their homes. I said it a long time ago and I stand by that. If ever I'm in a situation where I can do something, if he doesn't have a gun, hey, I'll do something. Because you don't know what these people have on you. They will shoot you and kill you. Me and my friends used to have a rule growing up. It's like this, dude. I love you, but you have a gun. I'll tell your mother that you went out like a G. I mean, we were serious like that. You can't ask, like, all I'm saying is this. You can't ask random black men to protect you. You can't expect, and she described good black men. Yeah. She didn't say black men. She said good black men. Let's hear a definition of good black men. That's my challenge to all of you out there in YouTube land listening to this video. Let's come up with a definition of good black man that is beneficial to just the man. Think about it. Nobody is good because they do for they do for someone else directly out of their own selfish wants and needs. They're good because of the kind of character they are, the kind of person they are personally as an individual. Let's come up with a definition of good men that doesn't just directly benefit women who are selfish and feel entitled. Let's do that. Let's do that first before anyone starts throwing out good black man. Yeah, so here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is coming from a black man. And I'm sorry. I know some of y'all like to call me a white troll sometimes until I show my face and then, oh, you're a black man, but you sound like this. But let's do this. How about we come to an agreement as a collective? But what you have to start doing is you have to put these random women in check. Don't act like you're putting them in check and then you have this underlying sisterhood agreement that, okay, I'm going to say this and I'm going to say that, but then we're going to roll with the other narrative anyway. That these men don't deserve any respect. These men are broke. These men are dusty. You need to be correcting these sisters every time they come out with some anti-black man bullshit that they usually do. Because you want something. You want something that might require something in return. I'm sorry. This is just the way it is. This is just the way it is. Now, I want you to read this little Facebook post I got up on the screen here. I mean, I'm assuming it's Facebook because it always says, you're feeling a certain kind of way. It says April Mason feeling disappointment. Well, sorry. April Mason is feeling disappointed. And it reads, when the victim is victimized by those that took an oath to protect because they are trying to clean up their mess by any means necessary, it shows just how flawed our system is. You're damned if you do tell and damned internally if you don't. The truth will come out. Ladies, protect yourself at all costs. Men, we need you. Hashtag unbelievable. Hashtag don't believe everything the news reports. Hashtag I'm done. Yeah, I guess it was reported on the news the incident, but according to Miss Mason, it was reported in a way that framed the conversation like it was just like, I guess that there was not enough to actually think that she was going to be abducted or kidnapped. This could have been some kind of simple harassment. And and harassment is never simple. It never is. I mean, it's creepy and it's bad stuff. So let's go ahead and get that out the way. But, the court of law in this land is much more prevalent than the court of public opinion. And that's unfortunate in a lot of situations. But here's my problem with April's Facebook post. Okay. And again, I'll say I'm sorry that this happened to her cousin. And I do believe that it happened. But at the same time, why do some black women frame the conversation like, okay, like it just is a problem now that it's happening to me? It is a problem. It's starting to happen to black women. First of all, it been happening to black women. But guess what? It been happening to black children, and it been happened to black men. Okay, let me give you some numbers because because I see these articles posted all the time, and they say and the article always reads this headline: 64,000 black girls are missing in the U.S. Let me throw out some other numbers for you. 800,000 to 1 million black children are missing. 2.5 million black men are missing in the United States. Let's start framing the conversation that there are about 3 million black people missing in the United States of America. 3 million sounds way more dramatic than 64,000. That's a very, very small example of black unity, how black unity works. You can't sit there and preach divisiveness. You can't divide yourself and act like that it's a much bigger problem when it happens to you. Now, as far as the black people aspect about it, black people generally, and I'm not saying like a lot of us in these YouTube skates, black people generally don't care unless something happens to them. Personally. Like, they think that they condemn the idea of black people even being on YouTube talking stuff. They condemn it, and it's a sad thing. It really is. But it's like, because I do feel like a lot of people that are on YouTube in the black sector discussing community issues actually care. And this is why April Mason brought her thoughts and opinions to that video that day. She saying that this kind of thing is happening, but I don't feel protected from black men. Well, here's the deal. You're a dating coach, right? So when she feels like, my suggestion to her is when she feels like it, she can go ahead and start back with the whole, okay, you have to submit. You have to respect these men. Because as long as you have young ladies like, what's that girl's name? And really honestly, it's nothing against you personally when I say your name, because I've said April Mason's name several times. It's nothing against you personally. What I'm saying is your rhetoric is counterproductive to even introducing the notion that you deserve protection from random men. If you want protection from random men, you're going to have to be the kind of influencer that puts these women in check whenever they start doing all that counterproductive nigga babble. Black men are defeated. Dusty broke. Yeah. Who's that young lady a while back? Paris Milan. Oh, you have to earn our respect. Yeah, she gonna have to cut that shit out too. I mean, if somebody's disrespecting her, you respond in kind. And that's anyone. oh yeah, and everybody says this woman's name but Cynthia G. Hey, you know what? Anytime somebody has something to say about that, disagree, I'm here. And these men, and I'm talking about the level-headed ones that you don't like to hear anyway, because see, here's what happens. Here's how you can sometimes tell who the level-headed men are. If they have a talking point and the person on the other side starts to straw man into disrespect. A lot of these guys have a point. A lot of these guys have been telling these women exactly what's wrong. And they've been getting nothing but disrespect for it. All I'm saying is this. You're going to have to start keeping an open mind, because the ones that keep bringing up this problem aren't really bringing up, okay, how are we going to get this from these guys? I mean, for real, because when you have people like Paris Milan and Cynthia G, with they nigga babble, and I'm not questioning their intelligence, I'm just questioning, like, if you're trying, I question their intelligence and the fact that if you're trying to get something done, what the fuck are you really talking like that for? Just like this dude that will preach on YouTube years and years ago, but he calling folks stupid. How the fuck are you going to get a message out? You sitting up here calling folks stupid. Y'all stupid. Y'all stupid. Y'all need to do this. That's like almost synonymous with how bad parenting goes. You don't give the reason why things should be. You just say you need to do it, and that's it. I'm going to say this again. I've said this in the past. Ain't nobody entitled to shit in this world. You're not. The only people that, like me personally, Kevin Esther, I feel like I'm obligated to protect are the women in my family, including of my wife and my daughter. Me putting my life in danger to protect a random female. Number one, that random female gonna have to stop running up on guys. You are not a man. Stop running up on men. Stop running up on men. We don't want to create any more Austin Sheffields. I mean, granted that there were brothers that were standing around recording the shit, and that gives me to my next point. Why don't y'all start raising these boys better? Yep, bad parenting contributes to your lack of protection, but you don't want to admit that because you always want to throw it off on the guys. And for these big time social media influencers, please shut the fuck up. Like, you're being counterproductive if you just, all this black man hate you spewing. Yeah, I'll blame that too. I'm sorry. I can. But let's get to this part of the video. I've talked about the problems enough and what's going on, but let's talk about a few solutions. Okay. Number one, you girls, if you want protection from random black men, and you may not agree with this, but some of this stuff you're just gonna have to bite down, and you're just gonna have to suck it up, and you're just gonna have to cooperate, because you want protection from random men, right? Random black men. If you want random, let's go ahead and just say it. If you want random good black men to protect you, here's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to get married. I'm not saying marry anybody. What I'm saying is you're going to have to give some brother a chance one day, get to know him, and build something. I can guarantee you almost 100% of the time, if your definition of a good brother is one that's definition to a brother, the one that's beneficial to a brother, rather, you're going to have to get married, because that man right there has no problem protecting you. That man right there has no problem protecting you. So, also, you're going to have to start supporting patriarchy. Now, patriarchy is a feminist dog whistle term. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. You're going to have to start supporting. You're going to have to start encouraging. And you're going to have to, and I'm not saying give in and, not be you, because there's ways to be you, enjoy the rest of your life, and have a thing for patriarchy. Patriarchy can be positive, because guess what? Patriarchy leads to protection. Patriarchy isn't something that just it just makes men mean and bad and horrible people, especially black men, and it makes them put their boot on the necks of women. No, we're talking about protection, because let's put it like this. When she's talking about some women had to protect themselves. Okay, we wouldn't be having this conversation if women could protect themselves. Like, that's common sense right there. Okay, now I've said it. And last but definitely not least, y'all gonna have to start respecting these brothers publicly. You're gonna have to show your public support and solidarity for these brothers. You love black men, show it. Because, as of late, due to the social media climate and basically the social climate in the real world, black men don't know that women love them. These women say it all day. Some of these women do, but there's not enough demonstration of that love. But believe me, when you hear a woman talk, you will swear up and down that black men have to do this, that, and the other to even get an inkling of approval, an inkling of respect. So, hey, you know what? Y'all might have to start coming a little bit further, like maybe even as far as halfway on this. Because, hey, you know what? The shit you're doing right now isn't working. I'm just saying how it is. Not for me personally, because I do believe in being a man and being a protector and a provider. But all these other guys out here might not have the same code. And if things continue to happen the way I've stated, and these solutions aren't met upon because, hey, you know what? You're the ones that keep talking about you want protection and provision, but you talk about it as a sense of entitlement. Too many out there love trashing brothers, and it's making them not want to do this stuff. So you can yell at them all you want. You can bark at them all you want about what you feel like you are entitled to and what you deserve. But hey, you know what? You need to start being a little realistic about this, because you ain't got much else to work with. Period. I mean, so what is it going to be? I mean, I pretty much just gave my 2 cents, and I mean, it's like you can listen to me or choose not to listen to me, and some of y'all might even have a better idea. And I'm not ever going to condemn anyone having a better idea than me, but what do you guys suggest? Because it's like this seems to be a regular thing. Is that this whole it's you're not being protected, but yet you're complaining about submission. You're saying brothers don't provide, yet you're still having babies by guys who can't provide. I mean, I think that there needs to be a little thinking on the side of the women as well. It's not just on the brothers. So, like I say, just kind of, if you want to, just kind of keep doing it your way and keep thinking that it's going to work, and not listening to these brothers or listening to only the brothers that you agree with. Because, April Mason pretty much, like, in that video just sounded like everyone else. I understand that she was upset, but that's just pretty much it. If you want and you still kick and scream about protecting you, and you're not submitting and you have a bad attitude, then you're probably likely not going to get what you want out of these brothers. Seriously. The fact is, it's being presented like you're entitled to it. And that right there helps no one. Now, somebody's going to ask, if something randomly happened to your daughter, you're going to want somebody to protect them, right? Yeah, I should hope so. I really should. But one way for that to happen is we're going to have to start working together. Start listening to these brothers when they're trying to talk to you. If you're dismissive, then guess what? We're back to square one. You want that protection? You want that provision? You're just gonna have to step and fetch. Sorry, it's not something that I don't want you under my boot. I don't want black women under my boot. I want them standing side by side with me, together. But understand this. I understand as a grown adult black man that I am entitled to nothing. And really, to be perfectly honest, you're not entitled to anything either. You're going to have to start somewhere. You're going to have to start doing what works. If the game ain't working for you, change the game. Make it work for you. But until then, hey, you know what? Keep trying it your way and see if you get any further. That's all.